Okay, this is a short video on removing a bathroom porcelain sink basin, which has been held in place with construction adhesive. There's no clips holding this basin to the countertop. It's just glued. It's not caulk because it's extremely tough. It's been glued on, and I from what I can tell, that's not that unusual. Now, getting it off is somewhat of a problem because the glue does not just yield like a caulk would. If it was caulked with clips, you could take the clips off and then pretty much you just pry that off. If you pry this off, you probably end up breaking the porcelain. So after thinking about that, actually first I just tried pushing up with it on my hands, but I wasn't really strong enough to do that, and it's a little bit uncontrolled. So what I do is I got this automobile jack, right? A piece of wood going up towards the top, where I then got some shims with another soft piece of wood, pine. This was hard. And the idea is just to apply a steady upward pressure on the bowl to see if that would break it free. And you can tell when you start doing that, it does start making those groaning, creaking noises. It wants to break free, but the glue is still holding it down. So the next step really is you do need to separate the glue from between the bottom of the bowl, the basin, and the Formica countertop. And that's where getting something in between that and prying that out and then working that around allows it to come out in a gradual manner. If you just kept pushing up, down, below, well, it might break somewhere, but what I was concerned about was the sink breaking. I didn't want to break that. There's nothing wrong with this sink. The countertop is slated for replacement. So although I didn't want to damage it, if it wasn't necessary, it wasn't the most important thing. Now you can see here, for example, where in this particular case, I was just happened to be prying from this particular direction, and as I was trying to get it in between the countertop and the basin, it slipped under that top layer, and then I ended up getting a rip there. Okay, so, and a couple other places where it more or less was probably inevitable, because the Formica sometimes is going to adhere to that adhesive, and you're going to end up, as you try prying it, it's going to end up pushing underneath the Formica. That's going to break it. Now, this could be used if it was going to be replaced with another basin that was slightly larger. Replacing this onto this basin countertop would not be a good idea. But of course, it's not planned to do that anyway. So, I worked the knife basically from the first spot where I could find a weakness, and then I just have gradually worked it all the way around, increasing pressure on the jack. And now I've already gotten it off here. I didn't want to film this while I was doing it because if I cracked the sink, there really would be no purpose for this video. It would not have worked. I did go very slowly, and it did take quite a while. So I might not even end up reusing this sink. I'm not even sure, actually, at this point. It's just that I didn't see as though I wanted to break it. When you look online for this type of removal, if you're really the kind of plumber way is probably just to break something. They can't afford to spend several hours on this type of thing. Now, if you're going to reuse the countertop, you'd more or less break the sink getting it out, and if you're not planning on reusing the sink, then you'd probably destroy the countertop just getting it out either with a saw or what have you, taking the whole thing out and then worrying about separating this at a later point. Okay, here, I'm gonna take the sink out, and then I'll take this countertop off. I didn't want to take the countertop off with the sink still attached. It just seemed a little bit unwieldy. Probably could have been done, but it would also, I didn't want to be banging around under there with the sink in the way and trying to get that out. So this seemed to work. So thank you.